What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be basically explaining what the hell happened to the Lexus and to the 86 as well. As some of you know through Instagram, the engine bay of the 86 2J I guess caught fire. So if you guys don't know, like I own a Corolla with a 2J swap in it, and so yeah. First, during the time frame, I was filming for TRC. So just a heads up, that video is gonna be pretty sick. It's gonna be kind of, I don't know, emotional in my way, like when the car did catch on fire, because there's just so much sentimental value to it, and it's just like money won't replace the memories that people I've met through, and through all that. Anyways, let's start off first with the Lexus. So backstory of it was, I just came out of dinner with some friends, and my little brother was driving his RSX. And basically we're side by side, and I was trying to tell him something, like what the moves were. And for some reason the car kind of has really bad alignment. I just don't, it's a daily, I don't want to invest in it, but I guess I have to invest into it now, make it look pretty and stuff like that. But anyways, the alignment pushed me to the left a little bit, and I kind of went off the road with this wheel for a second, and then I just took the illest freaking pothole. Like, the pothole was so big, I believe this is the one that freaking destroyed the dinosaurs and all that in this world. Anyways, so I didn't want to stop in the area that I was in because it was a very sketchy and very from Orlando. It's not the best area to be in. I'm not going to tell you exactly where it was, but anyways, I decided to drive home with a flat tire. It does have run flats in the front. I guess the run flats didn't work correctly, and so like 5 minutes away from home, the tire decided to debeat itself from the rim itself. These rims, the XXRs, right, upon impact of the pothole, it destroyed the rim, and I didn't notice that because basically the tire was just deflating little by little, and I thought I could make it home. I guess not. So 5 minutes away from home, the tire decided to debeat. I didn't decide to check outside, which is very ignorant enough, but there was no saving that wheel no matter what. So I just decided to drive home with it, and I got home, and when I looked upon inspection, I came out the car and I see my fenders misaligned. I see the freaking side skirt is destroyed. I see the front bumper, which in the beginning it was the cat that destroyed it sadly, but it's gone now. There's no replacing that. I took the bracket with it, and basically the tire took whatever it's inside of the wheel well, and I don't know, it's an XXR, do not buy those wheels. The reason why they're on this car is because the previous owner decided to put those on. It didn't bother me. I did have a couple supporters tell me like, hey, XSRs are not the best, they tend to crack. I didn't listen to them because I didn't want to spend money on this car, right? I am financing this car to build credit, and because I do really want to buy a really nice car next year, hopefully if God, if everything goes well. And plans for this car, so we're gonna try and make it a Gatlinburg, and let's see if we can kind of make it look pretty again. Buy a new bumper, 2 fenders actually I'm gonna need, and a side skirt. So if you guys have a good condition silver or any color ICE 250 bumper, side skirt, and 2 fenders, let me know, please. My DMs are open on Instagram, and I'd appreciate if you guys kind of look out for me, and because I am a very busy person, but I will look for myself as well, because it is my problem. All right, so mods for this car are gonna consist of some wheels. Some of you through Instagram know what kind of wheels I'm gonna go with this car, but some of you don't, so just wait on it. I'm gonna go with a wrap, kind of fix some body work on it, and yeah, let's do a wrap and maybe get some new coilovers, because these eBay coilovers that the previous owner installed are not the best. So, and I need 2 headlights as well, so yeah. Those are the plans with this car so far. I want to get a nice lip through Instagram as well. I mean, not through Instagram, through eBay. And make the car look pretty again, make it a drift spec in a way so that if we're slammed enough in Tennessee, it kind of makes sense, which it won't, but anyways, it still stands in a way because it's not on bags. So, this is what you guys have been waiting for. What's up with the 86? The 86, basically, we were filming for a TRC through a specific highway. I don't want to mention, the highway, because, I don't like where people know where I be at. I wouldn't say I have haters or, people that hate me, but I just don't like, in general, period, I just don't like where anyways. So, I was driving around 60 miles an hour. I was kind of doing some cool noises for the camera, some turbo noises, and basically after like a second pull of just doing those cool noises, thank God nobody was around. The highway was pretty empty, so very good on that. The transmission decided to, at the moment, I thought it was the motor that blew up or the transmission. It was either or, right? I kind of felt it was the transmission because I smelled tranny oil from previous pass, so I knew what time it was. But at the same time, me trying to pull over, from 60, and by the way, the 86 does not brake on time. It has really tiny brakes. Basically, the engine bay engulfed in flames. It just went poof, like that in front of my, face, and I was like, oh shoot, like the car's on fire. At the moment, I was like, fuck, the car's on fire. I kept repeating that because, one of my boys was on the line and he's part of the TRC crew, and I was trying to basically tell him like, yo, like the car is on fire. Like in my head, I'm like, damn, I don't have a fire extinguisher. So moral of the story, please get a fire extinguisher, because that's where my ignorant self, and I would repeat it many times, I was very ignorant on not listening to others and not getting a fire extinguisher at the moment before the fire in previous past, right? The car was planned to get a suppression kit installed, but either way, I didn't, a fire, you just never expect it, so my bad. So it was my fault, totally my fault. Thank God I'm just here, and the car is here, it's incomplete, it's complete and stuff like that. But anyways, back to the story. So I pull over to the side, I take off my shirt, I open the hood, and obviously you can't open the hood because oxygen feeds fire and it'll get bigger and blah blah blah. Anyways, I started hitting it, but I totally forgot that I just filled up a full tank of gas, and it's a 15-gallon tank and it's filled with gas. So the fire's near the fuel line, so I'm just like, oh shoot. And on top of that, I have one of my bottles installed, and it's a full bottle, and I'm not trying to be anywhere near that, but at the same time, I'm trying to preserve all the memories and the people I've met through, and just this car in general. It's a lot of money that I've spent personally that insurance will not pay me for if it does, burn down, right? So I'm just trying to hit at it. I'm like jumping back and forth, hitting it, but I'm seeing that the fire itself is coming from underneath the car. Not underneath, but it's like in the middle where you need to squeeze your hand, and I'm not trying to burn myself with that, right? So anyways, Joey comes with a bottle of water that he had in his car, and he just started throwing at it. Obviously it didn't do nothing because it's oil that's burning, right? And it's all over the downpipe itself. I don't know how, but I froze. In this moment where so much money, memories, and a beautiful build is just burning to the ground, you just don't know what to do if you don't have something certain to turn it off with. Your first instinct is water or an extinguisher. It's a fire, right? And I didn't have none of those things, so at the moment I just froze. I'm like, damn, this is really burning down. This is crazy. It's just something that we're just cruising with, and it just burns to the ground. So many years, and it just burns to the ground. We have over 6 years with the car, and so I completely froze. I fumbled. I froze. I've never been in a situation like this, and I'm just gonna be straight up. It was just totally my fault. I was very unprepared. And anyone in a fire, majority of the times, is unprepared. Some of them do have fire extinguishers and a suppression kit. I just don't. So I decided to call my friend Tommy, owns a black Supra, and luckily we were nearby the shop, and he came to the rescue. In other words, we did call the firefighters, but I was hoping and praying that they didn't come in time, because my boy was coming, Tommy, with the fire extinguisher from the shop. He was flying, supposedly that's what he says. I'm like 10-15 minutes away from the shop. He made it 2 minutes. So I'm not gonna disclose how fast he was going, but it was an emergency, right? And so luckily he came. He used the fire extinguisher, and we're able to turn off the fire in time before it spread. One of the reasons why I feel like it didn't spread is because it's basically a swap car. There's really no material that will catch fire other than fuel and a bottle line. I'm not trying to disclose that. But there is still ways for it to blow up, right? And that's why social media is just dumb, but I'll get to that point afterwards. But I'm just very thankful that, nothing really terrible happened. The only damage that we saw the day of, we haven't really gone back to go check at it, was the harness. The harness, nothing really bad happened to it. The only thing that burned on the harness was the protector. So on the wire, I think it's specialty wirings or wiring specialty, I always get it messed up. Anyways, there's like a sleeve, a net sleeve, and then the plastic wires itself, and then the live wires inside the plastic wires, right, or the rubber. The only thing that I got burned was just the netting, which, we could just replace that simply and make it look pretty again. The CO2 line did get burned, so I don't know if the CO2 line added to the fire or kind of like distinguished it, because the fire, when I opened the hood, it did get big, and then all of a sudden with the line being melted from the CO2, I don't know, like eventually it just got smaller and smaller. So I'm not a scientist, so I wouldn't really know about that. But the CO2 line did get damaged. 2 boost controllers and two boost controllers got damaged, and downpipe heat-rat. That's about it that I can see. Maybe the paint around the firewall, but most likely it could get buffed. Which I'm not really too worried about that, because again, the car is intact, the car is good. If I want, I could really drive the car right now, but it just needs I want to drive a perfect car again, right? The reason why the car caught fire was, I'm assuming, when I was brake boosting for those turbo noises on the TH400, the dipstick itself that measure the tranny oil, it's not a locking mechanism. So I believe the pressure buildup from the brake boosting, it popped it open, and all that pressure spilled all the oil onto the downpipe, and obviously that's all high, and it just caught fire when I was driving, So one of these days, whenever I'm free or I'm not too much, working, because I do own a business, I could go and inspect and assess whatever damage from that night, and see, yeah. Oh, and the O2 sensor did get damaged, but that's about it. So our next goals is to maybe get a casing for the transmission, because it is on a stock TH400 casing, just a cut bell housing, and JZ, made it to it with an Autosports engineering adapter plate, if I'm not mistaken. And by the way, it's a very awesome kit. I just want to upgrade to a casing, and to get a locking mechanism for the dipstick as well for the transmission, so that this doesn't ever occur again. So it is a sad situation, because you don't want a fire starting in a building, taking so long to build, so much money, pride, and all the memories you have made with it. Some people through Instagram and social media, they say, oh, it's a small fire, blah, blah, blah. Any fire is not too small, it's big. You don't want a fire in any build, The ridiculous stuff that we live nowadays, like this era that I sadly am a part of, is ridiculous, right? I've had people, throughout the comments say pee on it. How the hell am I gonna pee in a situation where if I wanted to get, like horny as fuck or erected, it's impossible. How the fuck am I supposed to pee? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I had people say dirt. Okay, yes, dirt. Okay, cool. It could have turned off the fire, but my mind at that moment is, fire extinguisher or water. Those are my two things. My thing is not dirt. Let me go grab grass, dig up dirt, and just throw it at the car. That's not my first instinct, So I did fumble there. Could have saved it, turned off the fire a little quicker. But again, I'm not thinking like that. I've had people say, put down the camera, stop recording, and try to turn off the fire. If I don't have those two primary things, and I'm not thinking mentally at the moment to go and grab dirt, what else should I do? Should I just sit there? Like, no, I'm gonna record it. Like, who cares? At this point, I lost it, right? I'm assuming I lost it, so might as well just record it. Who cares? There's good, and there's good that comes out of the bad, And so, oh my God, this generation is ridiculous. This generation, I swear, like these kids, all of a sudden they are firefighters. All of a sudden they know how to turn off fire. All of a sudden they know exactly what to do in a situation where it catches you off guard. Everybody knows exactly what happened, what caused it. Like ridiculous, ridiculous. I could have said yes behind cameras. Oh, you could have done this and this and that. But when you're in that situation, you don't know exactly what to do. Like I legit like if Stutter was a person, that was me at the moment, you know. But I'm just thankful that, you know, God was on my side that night, and I've had awesome people to, you know, pull up as soon as possible, which is rare, you know, because what if I was further away, it would have been total loss. And thanks to the firefighters who pulled up. They didn't do nothing, but I'm just very thankful that, you know, they did pull up, and, you know, a couple cops as well, police officers. I appreciate you guys so much, just, you know, for coming through and just making sure everything's okay. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, I'll give you guys more updates in the near future of what we're doing. The car is intact, by the way, guys. It just needs a sensor, 2 sensors, and maybe just make it look pretty again, but that's about it. Lexus, more do yourself videos will be coming out soon when I'm doing wrapping, the wheel suspension and whatnot. Just stay tuned, and thank you guys so much for supporting and just being there whenever I need some company, right? Appreciate you guys, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.